a barrel roll. Oh, that's embarrassing. Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another edition of the Conscast. Today we're going to be talking about the Fallout 76 Nylon Trash Bags and user data leaks, which Fallout 76 is just a game that keeps on giving. We're also going to be talking about the Epic Games Store, which will be launching in the near future, and going to be talking about some personal stuff as well. So let's get started. And actually, the very first news is obviously Bethesda is actually going to be sending out replacements for the Fallout 76 Nylon Trash Bags. I love how people have begun referencing these bags as trash bags. I think that's pretty funny. But essentially, they are saying now that they are going to be swapping these bags, which are essentially trash bags. Even user over here, Sariani13, yo, Bethesda Studios, this isn't a West Tech canvas bag. This is a ghetto-ass nylon trash bag. Fallout the fuck, guys. And in a response to the fan outcry over the move, Bethesda actually tweeted this earlier, not necessarily today. This is it's been a couple of days ago, and they said, we are finalizing manufacturing plans for replacement canvas bags for Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. If you purchase the Collector's Edition, please visit Bethesda Games something something and submit a ticket by January 31st, 2019. We'll arrange to send you a replacement as soon as the bags are ready. The interesting thing is that they are finalizing the manufacturing plans. You never had any plans to actually do this? You're just now finalizing the manufacturing plans for the canvas bags that you promised your fan base. I mean, do I even need to say how hilarious this shit is right now? But you know what the fun part is? Well, for starters, let me just tell you something. If you haven't submitted your ticket yet, I would advise you to hold off on that for a couple of days. I mean, they're saying here that you have until January 31st, so I would wait until closer to the end of January before you submit your ticket. And the reasoning behind that is because if you're gonna submit your ticket now, there's a good chance that your data is gonna be leaked. This shit just doesn't get any better. Look at this. Bethesda leaked Fallout 76 customer names, addresses, and contact details. So this was a tweet by user Jesse Tracy. Bethesda support, I am receiving others people's support tickets on my Bethesda account. I have numerous people's receipts for the Power Armor set. That includes their email and home address and the type of card they used. This is not good, right? And you can see that this user actually posted an image over here. And I was actually looking, okay. You can see all of those submissions, particularly from people that want to, you know, get their either a refund or a new bag or something like that. And you got all of these here. Some of them are waiting on an agent. Some of them's been closed by a customer, waiting on it. Basically, this user is receiving the back-end data from Bethesda's customer support website. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell is even going on right now? It's just like a big dumpster fire that keeps on burning, and they don't even know what to do anymore. They're not even trying to throw gasoline. The shit's just taking a whole new life. It's just burning by itself. It's completely ridiculous. But hey, at least the good news is that there's a good chance that you might get your canvas bag, so there's that. Just like I said, you might want to hold off on that for a little bit. Like maybe send yours like in late January or something, and maybe they'll have sorted out this customer data leak situation by then. Moving right along, earlier this week, or was it last week? I don't remember, but I remember seeing articles talking about how Steam was doing some new revenue sharing tiers, which I thought was weird because, like, I mean, why would you do this? Then when I actually looked into what the way in which it was changing, I was just like, okay, this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So last Friday, Valve dropped some news that it was likely very exciting for a certain subset of developers on Steam. Storefront would be adjusting its revenue share system from a standard 70-30 split to a tiered system, with more revenue going to developers of games that earned over certain thresholds. Specifically, games that earn over $10 million in sales will see a 75-25 split after reaching the milestone from October 1st onward, and games that earn over 50 million will get to keep 80% of their earnings, while Valve takes 20%. So the reason why I thought this was weird is because, well, this seems like a very anti-indie move from Valve here, because basically you are just rewarding the big AAA developers that are making a hella profit on your platform, whereas in reality, you should be helping out the smaller developers maybe a little bit more. As a matter of fact, this seems particularly familiar with another revenue system that I interact with on a daily basis, and that is YouTube. Basically, the smaller creators, we tend to receive a lot less money than the bigger creators, not just because of the fact that they get more views and they have more watch time and all that stuff, and therefore they just make more money than us that way, but they also tend to have the whole preferred YouTube partner network of ads, which essentially grants them even more, revenue split and their benefit than smaller creators, which one would argue the smaller creators could actually use a little bit more help in getting started on the platform. And this thing just feels so familiar to me, so I really feel for the indie developers. But to be completely honest, being an indie developer in this day and age, Steam is like gambling. Steam is like playing Russian roulette, okay? When you're putting your game on Steam, the chances of it actually getting seen by anyone, it's ridiculous. It's just not a very good system. I've talked about this in the past. The visibility of the Steam store, due to the fact that they don't actually do any proper content curation in that platform, is a serious issue. And now the fact that they're basically saying, oh, by the way, if your game makes millions and millions and millions of dollars, we will upgrade your revenue share and you guys won't have to give us as much money. And as you guys can imagine, the indie developers are not particularly they're not particularly happy about it. Have things really gotten so bad for Valve and the ever more competitive storefront scene that they now have to subsidize big studios? Because naturally smaller creators are not getting anything. Niche experimental games that broaden their audience are impacted by these decisions. Yes, they are. I thought there were a couple of tweets on this article, but never mind. I've seen articles talking about this where there's a lot of smaller indie developers just like completely slamming Valve for their decision to do this. And again, when I saw this, I was just like, okay, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It kind of sucks if you're an indie developer, but on top of it, why now? Why are they doing this at this point? And then later, here we go. Epic Games, basically like, for the past 5 years of building tools enabling Epic to bring our games directly to players. We built the Epic Games launcher on PC and Mac. I'm familiar with this because, as you guys know, I played Paragon quite a bit, so I used their launcher. Featuring Fortnite and the Unreal Engine, we built a worldwide digital commerce ecosystem supporting dozens of payment methods, and we gained great economies of scale thanks to Fortnite's growth. As developers ourselves, we wanted two things: a store with fair economics and a direct relationship with players, and we've heard that many of you want this too. See, this is the part that I might have a couple of questions, because every time that I bring up, alternatives to Steam, everybody comes at me like, no, everything needs to be on Steam. We just want Steam, Steam, Steam. And now you guys are seeing that Steam is not the most fair of storefronts when it comes to the developer side of things. They are pretty much a monopoly. They've had a monopoly on the digital storefront for quite some time, which is why, despite the fact that not a lot of people actually like the Origin store, the Ubisoft store, and all of these different storefronts that exist on PC, because it's not as convenient as having everything on your one store, it is important to have competition, in my personal opinion. I know that a lot of you guys don't agree with that, but that's the part that I'm like, really? Many people want this? Are we sure? I mean, I know that I do, but I'm not sure if a majority wants this. Either way, soon we'll launch the Epic Games stores and begin a long journey to advance the cause to all developers. The store will launch with a hand-curated set of games on PC and Mac, and then it will open up more broadly to other games on Android and other open platforms throughout 2019. Now, the interesting thing here, and the thing that I'm mostly just like excited to see what is going to be like, is this: hand-curated set of games. Content curation, extremely important in today's day and age, and Steam does not do a good job of content curation. Again, this is my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. It's whatever. I don't think they do a good job. And as a content creator, I a lot of times would like to be able to browse the Steam store and all you see on there is just trash. There's tons and tons of trash games. Like, sure, there'll be the gems in there in the middle as well, but it just becomes so hard for you to actually pick out which ones are good games because there's not really good content curation on that platform. And that is why I hope that Epic does a good job of curating the games that actually go on their platform so that they become a viable competition to Steam. But not only that, the Epic Games will operate on the following principles. All developers earn 88%. Now, in the best case scenario on Steam, if your game makes $50 million, you're looking at an 80%, 20% revenue split between yourself and Valve. Whereas on here, doesn't matter how much money your game makes, you're getting 88%. You can see the store revenue split broken up here. Basically, if you use Unreal Engine 4, you don't even have to pay like whatever this percentage of Unreal Engine that you have to pay on Steam, because naturally they are the owners of the Unreal Engine and they can afford to just put that together with whatever percentages they're working on with to deal with other developers and whatnot. So basically you're gonna get 88% no matter what, even if you do Unity, although on Unity I'm assuming there's some kind of licensing fee in order to do Unity, so you might have to pay that, but that is not related to Epic Games themselves, which is pretty friggin' cool. It's pretty cool that they're launching this new store. It's pretty cool that hopefully Steam will not have a monopoly for much longer. And I think that everyone wins with something like this. That is my personal opinion. I know that you guys are probably upset because like, oh man, another fucking storefront, dude. I don't want to have to deal with that. So annoying. And I understand your point of view, but I think ultimately you'll get cheaper games out of this. Maybe. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, either way, I'm curious to see what the future holds in regarding to this. Moving right along, for those of you not aware, I've been streaming a lot more actively over on Twitch recently because I've just been feeling the urge to stream so much more than necessarily creating stuff on YouTube. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys go and check out my my Twitch stuffs and whatnot and hang out. The live stream, we all have a lot of fun every night. And tonight, especially, I'm going to be live streaming the Video Game Awards. And before the Video Game Awards, I should be live streaming Super Smash Bros. Ultimate so that I can potentially do like a video or first impressions type of deal tomorrow. So if you guys are curious what Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is like, you guys can come hang out over on twitch.tv/Rurikhan. Either way, thank you all very much for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed it, leave it with a like. Remember, you can also subscribe, hit up the notifications, do all of that stuff. Here's 2 video suggestions that you guys might enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.